Good afternoon, everybody. It's me, Boyle Royal, joined by a very special guest of Jar of Jam here for some exciting Rocket League for the Student Champs finals, actually, for the South stage. But Jam, how are you doing today?
I'm doing just great. An evening of Rocket League is pretty much all I want for my evening, so time well spent and a little trip to UK without even having to get out of my room. That's, I mean, 2 for 1, 2 for 2 by this point. Honestly, I am chuffed.
We have an exciting match ahead of us today. As I mentioned, it is the grand final of the South stage. The winner of this will head to LAN in the summer, and facing off against the winner of North, which will happen later on in the coming months. But the exciting thing about this match as well, Jam, is, you know, we've had best of 7s for a lot of the playoff matches and all the matches so far, but today it is best of 9 for the grand final. We're going to have HSDC Storm against Equals.exe, or the Exeter side as they are also known as. But yeah, best of 9 here for the grand final, and both of these teams are so far out a loss. They both went 3-0 in the Swift stage. They both went flawless in the single elimination bracket. So now they finally face each other, and it's like a best of 9.
Seems to be like the perfect 2 teams to be battling out in the South Regional Finals, and the best of 9 format definitely brings a throwback to back of the days of Rocket League Central and the very first RLCS. This is the proto RLCS, the pre-RLCS that it was known, and best of 9. It is a long run. You need stamina. It's potentially 9 games, and if you're going into the overtimes, you need to be right on point with just how well can you stay up, hold your controller, and be straight in the zone for such a long period of time.
Well, presuming that everything is ready to go, let's get started with game number 1. We have a potentially long series ahead of it here with a potential of 9 games. As we mentioned, HSDC Storm against Eagles.exe, both never having a loss so far, not facing each other just yet, but that's finally going to change now.
How about this? A chance for the Eagles themselves. Exeter playing in orange, HSDC in blue, and the first attacks are going the way of Nugget Freen's data. How about this read off the backboard? Should be on target, but just a little bit off. They still need to be very quick about removing it from their own defense, and Exeter are playing with fire in front of their own net.
Low tries to send the ball up, going but denied well by Nugget. Off to the corner, Corbett demoed. To the ceiling it will go, a launch up field, a good pass into centre. Flo misses out in his touch, and Nugget cannot make the connection either. But JFC gets it past 1. And they get the attack to persist. Nugget just misses out, and a chance now actually for the HSDC side. The defense left wide open. And RX, a free chance on net, he'll get the goal.
Double demo opens up a bit of space on the field. The Totem should have grabbed that, but that dribble was just perfect. And then at the angle that it has been running away from him, the closer he got to the net, RRX managed to slide it right in. First goal of the series, a very important one. He immediately goes for a second one, a demo on the line. This again is benefit for Exeter. They're trying to pass the ball amongst each other, but Flo and Corby cannot find a good shot. Still coming away from the back and getting a little bit of power. HSDC wants to find themselves a quick advantage, not just the 1-0, 2-0, 3-0. They want to score as many as possible.
And you know, I think this is my first time ever casting a best of 9, and maybe one of my second or third time we're watching a best of 9. So in terms of how much each game matters, of course they all matter in terms of, you know, you get the game when you get close to winning, but it's a completely different ball game. Usually I would say, you know, best of 5, game 1 matters a lot because it really kind of builds up momentum. Best of 7, the real game that matters a lot is kind of that game 3 area, and who wins that one could really kind of build a lot off of it, especially making it a 3-0 or a 2-1 potentially. And a best of 9, I don't really know what to kind of where to look out for as that turning point of a series. Like we could have a 5-0 here. I'm not, you know, really expecting it, but a 5-0 is a possible scoreline we can see here, and I don't really know how to feel about that.
Well, I'd say game 4 might be that really important turning point if we place it at least somewhere. But it is really fun just to see those little pips on the scoreboard and seeing how there's 10 of them in total for potential 5 wins for each one of the sides. A very explosive start. I cannot say that the temperature of the game really has decreased. Both of the teams are playing incredibly fast, and the quick clear is needed. HSDC finally found themselves a couple of opportunities in front of Exeter's net. Just as quickly as that opportunity has arisen, they are now pushed back to their own net. And it is Corby and company trying to set something in front of that orange net.
You know, just as an example of how close these teams have been so far, in the Swiss stage they both went 12 game wins and I believe 4 game losses, winning all their series by the end of it. And as well as that, in the main bracket stage, I believe HSBC went 4-1 in 2 of their games, and Exeter went 4-0 and 4-1. So there was a 1 game difference in their record between these 2 teams, which is so minimal when you've had 3 Swiss stage matches and a bracket match. They are so incredibly close, still yet to lose, but that's finally going to have to change now. And we're going these teams to send their ticket to LAN and basically face off against the best of the North.
Since these teams haven't played each other previously, at least within these stages, then it's hard to really pinpoint how well they're going to go, but based just on the statistics that you presented, Boya, it seems like we're going to have an incredibly even matchup, so who knows, best of 9. Perhaps Twitch chat can help us out with a couple of predictions, call-outs. Who are you even cheering for? I see a lot of Exeter fans, but where are the HSDC fans as well? Let yourselves known. Tell us who your favorite players are. And just throw a couple of cheers. Your team is winning, but that might change very quickly as Nugget just now tried to make it a tie. This should have been a goal, but RX on the goal line, working his wheels both in the offense and in the defense.
A little bit of history between these 2 teams as well, back in the winter stage. Just for the preceding and for the kind of early Swiss as a practice for these teams to get involved. These 2 teams did face HSDC Storm, who took down the Exeter side 4-1 in the best of 7. Of course, that was only a best. This is a best of 9 now. It's a whole complete different ballpark. But it was a 4-1 last time around. HSDC did look very convincing as well.
How about this last attempt for Exeter? And RX not reaching it, but still enough, or at least were not able to get a good touch on the ball. Timers running out balls on the completely wrong side of the field. Exeter only needs to kill it down. Nobody is close to the ball. And I think they're just saving the goals for the rest of the games. We're here for a long haul. Don't score all 10 of them, or however many you want to score in the game number 1. No, just start slow, give us a little bit of an appetizer, give us a little bit of a look at it. And if not goals, one thing definitely noticeable on the field is the amount of demos. Both teams love to play physically, and I feel like we're going to be seeing a lot of openings created as a result of that.
The physical activity was definitely a big forefront for the win there, and also shutting down the attacks coming out from the Exeter side by HSDC. Now coming into game 2, which we should have ready now, it's going to be a case of, can Exeter deny the kind of aggressive attempt by HSDC and fight through these bumps and demos, have some chances of their own, and punish any mistakes that are being made, but also because when you're at this kind of level, you can't rely on mistakes being made. You have to force mistakes to happen. You have to even play out with the mistakes and try to just be better than the opponent. You can't rely on them messing up. You're just going to outplay them.
And demos and bumps really could be that difference maker and force the opposition to go for clears or saves that they were just not ready for. Immediately putting lots of pressure, or just breaking out the rotation, all of a sudden picking up the second player and nobody can cover on the ball, or a third is gone and your net is empty. Better be careful, Eagles of Exeter. And right now they're trying to start this game strong. A couple of attempts here and there, but no direct shots on target. Even previously, their precision was mostly around the net, not onto it. By this point, they're just trying to play a possessive game and trying to overload the net of HSDC.
Well, Corby also decides. And they get a follow-up touch, but will not connect upon it. RRX. Down the sidewall, gets it past 2. He gets the mid booster to be able to play alongside it. The pass into centre, no success, but it rolls on round back to Nugget. Denied for just a moment, the ball bounces off the ceiling. RRX. A launch up good once more. Denied again. The side have a chance to kind of develop a play here, but some wasted touching means that an easy clear will come out for HSDC. And a counter attack potentially to develop.
How about this though? Returning back. HSDC have used their boost, but by this point, there's recovery. Although I'm looking at those boost meters for a moment, Corby and RX were at 0, only Flow in and net sitting up tight. But Exeter were not able to use that double commit. Anybody on the ground, Nugget is forced to play it to the side, and already there are players from HSDC meeting them and returning the ball all the way to the orange side of the field. Little duel. Corby tries to get the ball away from Exeter, and he succeeds at that, and so they are forced to start again. Eagles try to soar, but yet another demo just resets everything. We're back to square one. That's where Eagles are starting once again.
Definitely keeping it closer, a bit of a team bump along the way. RX up to the challenge. He rolls off the ceiling. Pins downfield perhaps, no success just yet. Flow, one heavy touch, trying to pass another, no success. Needs some help from a teammate. Corby has no boost, but he's going to struggle to make the kind of touch here. Will find something, but a dangerous position. Eagles.exe on the attack, denied well by Flow. A pass off to the side, RX has control. Denied well. I love what I'm seeing from the Exeter side. They're getting in the way, denying the chances. They're just not getting that finishing touch. They're not getting the chance onto net. Now RX off the ceiling, a chance on goal, saved by Daffel.
And they're going to try again. RX with a little bit of a possession on the ground. Corby already is waiting. And Flow a pass rather than a shot, but this could open opportunity. Corby out of boost, cannot reach the ball. Try as they might, HSDC cannot find themselves a good opportunity. There's a miss though. And as more and more players of Exeter are forced to go for the ball that their teammate was originally in possession, that whittles away the boost, that messes up the positioning. Still in that opportunity, HSDC were not able to take over. Previously we saw a couple of opening demos from Exeter, but still the defense of HSDC is holding up strong. A little bit more pace. I feel we're going to see the opening goal of the game so far, approaching the final minute. I say that. Almost. Approaching the final minute, we are still scoreless at 0.
Cutting it close right there, and a good chance onto net. RX off the bar. Jarl Jam, we continue this deadlock game, but for how long is a wide open net for the Exeter side? And a quick counter attack. Daffo makes it 1-0.
Quick reach. Oh, Corby was not able to reach the ball. Last player from HSDC. It's Exeter striking late in game number 2. And if the first game is of any indication, let's hold our horses straight off the kickoff. Corby and his teammates are trying to make it a tie game. Can RX make anything work from the flank? This has been a dispossess. We need an aerial play immediately, but you can see how deep the last player of HSDC is sitting. No risks taken, but by this point, I think it's time to throw the sink and everything else at the Exeter.
The corner, Corby bumped off that ball, it rolls on around the corner, over to Freeze. Not the chance on the net just yet, but a pass in the centre could be damaging, could secure the game. The ball lingers in front of the HSDC net. A chance still remains. That one will secure the game. Surely, Exeter win game 2.
That should be it. Look at how sneaky that touch is. Flow gets bumped out of the way. Absolutely no chances for him to do anything. And despite the player presence from HSDC, that shot was placed so precisely out of everybody's reach. And by the end, Freeze and the rest of the Exeter could have even scored yet another one. The series has started as we predicted, incredibly equally. How about this for Exeter? 1-1.
1-1, and a very close game once again. Okay, it ended 2-0 by the end of it, but it was pretty much a 1-0 game, even 0-0 for the majority of it. So, game number 3 as we get into it, going to be very interesting to see how things develop, because we've got an even scoreline here, Jam. Both teams looking incredibly close in game 1 and game 2. I think we need to get game 3 underway to see if this deadlock can be broken.
I would love to see more, and here we go. Game number 3. Exeter and HSDC. Momentum with the Eagles, and we have seen a bit more. Not sure life is the correct term in this case, but straight off the kickoff, look at how much HSDC won this, just as much as Exeter started off strong in game number 2. Separating these two is going to be a challenge on the field, but that's why it makes it so exciting. I just love Rocket League and well-matched teams.
Good play here by RRX. Nugget gets his first touch on the ball, but a pass in the centre flow. Not expecting so many touches when the flip reset means that Nugget can get control of his own off the corner. A good pass into centre will be denied well by Corby. Nugget a heavy touch. Take it past another, not successful just yet. Please, denied. Here comes Corbett up. He's got no boost, but he'll get it past one. Daffo. He said Corbett to the ball, but RX, he can't take it any further. A minute gone by, the deadlock remains. Both of these teams are playing such an incredibly close series for Rocket League that every mistake matters so much.
I love this roller coaster seesaw call, which you might. Both of the teams, as Nugget scores that one, I'm going to roll that back and say, brilliantly done, Exeter. This pinch against two players of HSDC is what opens up the net for the Eagles of Exeter. Beautifully executed. But I just love how much desire there is from both of the teams. The moment they are in a losing position, we saw this both from Exeter and HSDC, it's they lose a game, the next game they start incredibly strong with just all of the intention. This was above the crossbar, thankfully, but look, just for a moment, a little bit too threatening. HSDC with their back pass, were threatening their own net. Anybody on the ground? Demo, that's on Flow.
What a pass!
Player less
what
off
are you
crossbar.
doing?
You're kidding me, that's out. Flow is going to come back on target, nobody in the net. Tie game.
Corbett made what I think could be the best pass of all time. Then his team, gets a great shot off, and he saves it. He just saves it. The pass was perfect. Luckily they get a goal out of it anyway, but I wish we got to see the pass. It was a great pass.
There's plenty of time to see perhaps more of this, more where it came from. Corby, you immediately see him on the ground and looking for bumps. DC are looking for a second opportunity straight off the kickoff just to increase at this point, just to break the tie. Once again, 1-1. Still trying to separate these two teams. Careful as they are. Corby gets sent back to the spawn. And nobody from Exeter wants to see him anywhere on this side.
The goal run round to the ceiling, it will bounce. Daffo tries to get the ball onto net, denied well. Nugget to the backboard, follow-up touch not successful. RRX taken out by a demo, and Corby goes flying past the ball. A heavy touch pass, one shot onto net, and be saved just in time. But here comes Nugget, past one to centre. The ball goes high, and it's low heavy touch. Daffo off to the side, can he do anything with it? To the corner, he'll send that pass into centre. Denied well by RRX, and here comes Flo once more. A push upfield to break the tie game, to break the tie series. But Nugget, he'll say no.
Needed a bit more boost, needed his flip reset. Great dribbles, and then we're going to try again through the air. Exeter, that bounce, not exactly what Daphne's looking for, but I don't think his team is too concerned. Corby needs to be converting this. Goes to the side where Flo is already waiting. I don't know if he has enough patience. He can outplay the defense of Exeter. Long clears. Both teams are trying to just hit it past that offside line, as if there was an offside line in Rocket League, and make sure that they start a quick counter.
Well, the counter has certainly worked out, hasn't it? The Exeter side of the quick counter have gotten themselves goal number 2 after a very close attempt there from RRX, but just not successful.
We saw it's nobody from HDC was even seeing a shot in their future, and yet it comes. You need to be incredibly careful. It is leaving that to RRX. There's more possession. Favorable pitch perhaps to the center of the field, or at least a teammate coming in on through. That's Corby looking for more and more setups, looking through steal the boost. Ball has already moved to the other side of the field. How much do HDC have? Well, they don't have a player in the middle, so RX cannot receive that pass off the wall. So the rest of the attack maybe breaks down, if only for a second. But all of these moves are forcing Eagles to expend those to come to their backboard. And as such, there might be a gap in their rotations when the ball returns to the ground.
Launch up field and a doink down the other, and oh, Daffo, the ball lands perfectly on his car, and he makes it 3-1.
Past everybody. Look at that. Surrounded by HSDC players on a runaway. Now he gets it perfectly. Ball behind you. No, he does not matter. He is on point. That gets yet another one for Exeter, and there's not much time, and yet again the threat to the net of HSDC comes in on through with the shots from Exeter with their own touches. And right now, with them staring down the barrel of a shotgun, down 2, they need to be finding goals quick and in quick succession.
Almost gets it past, but saved by RRX. Push up field, flow to receive. Here comes Corby, bumped out of the way. Time is running out for HSDC. They've got to score pretty much now. Don't have a chance at winning this game, but Nugget will deny. Take the ball upfield. Taken off by Flo for just a moment, but it is not scary in the slightest. 10 seconds to go. A goal will be found. And Jam, there is a chance.
There is a small chance. We saw how well HSDC can push from the kickoff, and this little give and go mid-air is exactly what they needed to just put a shot on target that Exeter are not ready for. So let's watch this kickoff as Corby, yes, sends it to the other side. I'm surprised there's no challenge from Exeter. Just get any touches. This is just setting it up on the backboard. That was not what they were looking for. But no immediate touch comes in for HSDC. And Exeter, honestly, should breathe a sigh of relief. Those last 11 seconds could have been disastrous after conceding one and the game being almost brought to a tie. Whew. Breathe in, breathe out, relax.
A very, very close end of game, but it does still go the way of Exeter. They go 2-1 up in the series. Now as we get ready for game number 4, usually this would be the point of, do they get to match point, or, you know, can they get to a 2-2? Now can they get to 3-1 or 2-2? But it's still not even close to match point yet. We've still got more to go. Game number 4, here we come. Can Exeter increase their lead and make it a little bit more comfortable for themselves?
I predict it's going to go to 2-2 after this one. And yeah, folks, just a reminder, this is best of 9. And as such, the winning team needs to take 5 wins. So get ready, get comfortable, hope you have drinks and snacks. We might be here for a long run, as so far we have seen both teams show how much they want it on the field and really prove that they can get it and get that trip to even higher grounds, to the grandest of the finals.
Yeah, game number 4 ready to go underway just about now. Eagles.exe 2-1 up in our best of 9. Game number 4. Cement their lead even further. Try and guarantee this win, because, I mean, Jam, we always say, you know, coming down from 3 games in a best of 7 is next to impossible. But in a best of 9, how does that, like, even, what's the comeback rate in a best of 9? If you go 4-1 down, do you come back from that?
You can. Because the moment you win, by this point, like, how many games do you need to win for your opponent to start really?
Okay.
Put a pin into that flow. Where did this come from? I expected this, obviously, but this is an individual effort. Up he dodges. The attacking player of Exeter easily reads a backboard from himself, and nobody can stop him. His own side of the field, the final third of Eagles, or even the backboard. If you needed to start the game number 4 with a bang, you got it, Flo. You got it.
Certainly started off with a bang. Daffo now downfield, going to be caught well by RRX. Nugget off to the ceiling. Daffo getting a 50 to send this one upfield. Minute gone by, and a 1-0 start for the HSDC side in miraculous fashion, may I add. But Freeze, he's got a wide open net to score on. And you don't get style points in Rocket League, so I don't care how you're scoring the goals, because it's 1-1 now.
Beautiful little transition as we're watching this. For a wide shot, what would it be, like a telecamera? Like a real wide shot of the stadium, making sure that we get everything. And this could be incredibly quick, but quick moves from Corby to make sure that HSDC do not concede immediately off the kickoff, and now they can play their aerial games themselves looking on the ground. They love to commit a player right on the ground to look for any bumps on the defenders. All the while, the other players are going through the air. Nugget.
There we go.
Slick moves. And how about second one for the Exeter? The game keeps on going back and forth.
Looking absolutely clean with it. First it's Daffo there with a fake challenge into a wave dash to get it past the incoming attacker. Gets the pass over to Nugget, who is there waiting, supporting his teammate. And all he has left to do is win on 1v1, which is exactly what he does. Gets the goal on the board and sends Exeter up in this fourth game. Good chance for the centre here. Freeze. Looking for a teammate to pass to, and you'll find exactly that's a wide open net. Daffo can get some power on it. Corbin makes it back in time, but he's left awkward, needs to be bailed out by a teammate. Great passing work by HSDC to get that ball out of their half. But can they develop an attack from it? It doesn't seem so quite yet.
Nugget with his own opportunities and a lot of great control in the air. Like we said for Flo, no, going down from under the ground, RRX. A little sneaky shot while Flo has been really pumping the smoke in the face of HSDC. Or rather, this HSDC and their smoke. Now with the Exeter on the receiving end, Nugget, and he went for a pass. There's an opportunity that's Daft coming in and through. And it's Freeze as the third player for Exeter. Try as they might, cannot break down the defense of HSBC on that particular attempt. But a little bit of a bump, a little bit of a boost steal, another bump, and the net is wide open. Nugget with the help of Freeze. That is a lovely passage of play. They just never relented. They never stopped on rotating and looking for more opportunities.
You know, I don't want to call out that Nugget's almost getting a Doomsday dish right there, but I think these players are all so young, but I don't know if any of them know who Doomsday is.
Oh, God.
They might not know what a Doomsday dish is, all these players here. There's a pretty good chance.
Somewhere in Britain, Doomsday all of a sudden just got a case of the hardest hiccups.
he's in Japan now. He's left us in Britain.
Oh yeah, absolutely. God, goodness gracious. Well,
yeah.
It shows how much. Yeah, I
That's
completely forgot. Well, is it? What time is it? In the middle of the night, Doomsday wakes up in cold sweats and like, oh my God. There are people who do not know what a Doomsday dish is. We do know though that RX scores one for HSDC, reducing that lead down to just one goal. They're still behind. Look at them. They're working that backboard, forcing Exeter to keep on sending players. And of course, Flo, Corbin, and RX are in much better position to just continue pummeling that net with shot after shot.
Daffo into centre, looking for the bump, can't find it to pass on down. Over to Nugget, saving the line by Flo, but it was sink on in anyway. JFC gets a goal for Exeter and makes it 4-2.
Just enough. Flo. Yes, he got it. Excuse me, but what he needed was another player on the field right next to him to immediately clear that ball as far away as possible from his own net. Eagles of Exeter execute their player advantage, and by looks of it, they might even execute something from the kickoff. Love the aerial plays to keep the ball still very close, and somebody needs to close that ball down. Somebody needs to be on top of that, and somebody needs to stop Exeter. That's 5-2 already.
Good goal there by Daffo, hits it top corner, 5-2. And Exeter looking unstoppable here in the fourth game of our best of 9 series. If they keep this up, HSDC are not going to have a fun next couple of games because they can't seem to figure them out.
Nuggets just wants to increase this lead to even crazier number. So far the biggest score line as well as the biggest goal differential we've seen in the series. Exeter are really in controlling position. For HSDC, I do hope for their sake that they just sit down for a little bit, think about how can they approach the next game. So far, it's just like the speed that the Eagles of Exeter have picked up seemingly is leaving HSDC players in the dust. And a lot of these aerial attempts just working out well for them. How about this touch from Nugget? Daft, bottom corner. It is yet another one in the pocket of Exeter.
6-2. My, oh my. Well, game 4 was certainly Eagle.exe's. Is it going their way? They're going to be 3-1 up after this one. Still got 2 more games to win after it as well. HSDC plenty of time to make a comeback, but it is going to be hard when the Exeter side is playing this good.
well, fans of HSDC, come out of the woodwork and give the energy to your team. By this point, well, we've seen them trying to mount a last-moment rally in the previous game, and they came incredibly close, and that's why I had high hopes for them in this game number 4. They can try something similar over here as well, even if they cannot win this game. At the very least, a momentum of scoring a goal, especially if it's a spectacular goal, set them in good stead for the game number 5. But ever since those 2 goals have been scored earlier in this game, and by this point it feels like it has been forever ago, HSDC haven't really been able to mount anything in front of Exeter's net. So it seems like 2 is exactly what they're going to be leaving with. All the while, just the confidence is oozing from the Eagles players, and we might see Exeter being charged and ready to continue down even further in game number 5.
A great game there from Exeter, 3-1 up in the series. Looking unstoppable in that game, a 6-2 win in Jam. Now, as we get ready for game 5, what do you think HSDC need to do?
Again, be just a little bit faster. I don't know if they have more gears in their cars, if they're comfortable playing faster. But it seems right now it's just that the Exeter are running circles around them with every single touch, just a little bit faster to the ball, a little bit more in control of what they're doing, and every single time a shot comes in through, I see a lot of HSDC players just not ready for an immediate attempt. So be faster, close down those players. If you cannot close down a player, at least be in a position and be ready to make a jump across the net, make an aerial play, maybe even just a play off the backboard, just a tiny bit faster. They need that pace if they want to beat Exeter and take this best of 9 in their own favor.
Well, game number 5 is ready to go to send themselves to match point. Can Exeter win it here, or can HSDC start a comeback of their own? 5 minutes on the clock, game number 5. Still not anywhere near the end of a best of 9. It could only be the beginning for this HSDC side.
Another opportunity for them could be a slower, tricksy approach, if that would be even a good term for it. Just play unpredictably, play with the dribbles, and play on the small ground. This is open. This needs to be taken. I breathe out in relief because HSDC had everything in front of that net, but that tiny bump that we see just in a moment, Flow gets in the way of RX, then results in the bump of Nuggets, and maybe they needed it, is exactly what they needed as a start. Now not to hold on to that lead, and preferably to add even more in the remaining 4.5 minutes of the game time.
Nugget pass into centre, no one there to receive. HSDC have got 1 on the board, but they've got to get more than that. A 1-goal lead is certainly not safe in this series. You've seen it time and time again. Nugget, he's lonesome. I want to pass to, but a shot to be made. Sends it high over to RRX. Got Flow waiting centre, pass not to be made. A catch by Nugget into centre, it will go. Heavy touch from Corby, needs some help here. Daffo into centre, in front of net, the ball will linger. The way it will be cleared once again by the HSDC side.
Trying to mount a counterattack as well, but not to be just a little bit dangerous in their own side. And if a powerful clear is coming on through now, Elise is going to relieve just a little bit of pressure. Thankfully for HSDC, the boost game is strong. The little chip game is strong as well. Nugget works well on the backboard and just clears it on through. That's 2 players already beat. Needs to be incredibly fast. RX does not hit the ball. Thankfully has Flow in his pocket. And they will continue to try to move the ball left, right, just as long as it's not in front of the net or a position where Exeter can actually put any sort of touch on it. Now it goes the other way, but I do not think RX has much in his own tanks to mount any sort of shot. We'll turn back to Exeter a demo, as you see from the feed. But that does not immediately open up anything for the Exeter. Instead, on the other side, it is Flow. HSDC find a second one against the flow of the play, I would even say.
This might be the first time as well we've seen HSDC with a 2-goal lead, because finally they get themselves into a comfortable position where they don't have that big of a threat on them. Of course, Exeter are still lingering in the distance. A free goal might even be coming their way because the net left wide open. This is good from HSDC. Now they are feeling very comfortable.
Beautifully played off the kickoff. And this is what I expected from HSDC in a previous game. Well, if it comes one game late, okay. The problem is now that instead of turning this 3-goal lead into a 2-2 series, it's only going to be a 3-2. Look at that. They are just looking like a completely different team. Or perhaps the other way around. It's Exeter who all of a sudden have absolutely lost their face and now struggling to find themselves a favorable position, any control of the ball, or what's perhaps even worse in a situation like that, confidence in their own play.
Lack of confidence can cause a lot of damage, but they still have time to bring this game back. Nugget can't make a connection. Here comes Corby to the sidewall. Clearance away to the ceiling. It will bounce. Big demo there from Flo, and a push-up field denied. Here comes Flo once again to the backboard. Touch on down. 4-0. HSDC are back well and truly with a vengeance.
Not just back, running in front of a steam train and not stopping even for a moment. Another beautiful backboard play from Flo. His reads from that position have been instrumental for HSDC for a couple of these. And you see off the kickoff, another open opportunity. This could spell trouble for Exeter, Boyo. If they are so vulnerable off the kickoff to these quick moves of the second player, or maybe even of the third player coming in on throw, their rotations really need to be rethought. Yeah, but they might reduce their dangerousness in off the kickoffs themselves, but boy, they better do that lest they want to risk all of it once again and concede the 5th one, the 6th one. And that's just in this game. I'm thinking about the whole series.
Now get past one, off to the corner, it will bounce into centre now. Flo can't make the connection. RRX, heavy touch off the side. Needs a helping hand here, not going to find it just yet. Not going to send it high, instead over to Corby. Time is running out. This game is looking almost certain to be going HSDC's way. When game 6 comes around, Jam, it could be a very interesting time for this series.
This only proves once again how well matched these teams are and how back and forth the nature of the series is going to be. Long clear, there's one for the side of Exeter. The comeback, 3 goals, almost a minute, yes, possible. And we've seen some rather consecutive goals being scored, but something really needs to go wrong. So far, kickoffs in this game especially, but even previously, have been in the domain of HSDC. And while this kickoff doesn't immediately open up an opportunity for themselves, at least Eagles do not get a clear chance either, but they're definitely looking.
Time ticks on down, and to make a comeback would be a miracle, but it is certainly possible. With that goal going in, though, that possibility becomes a bit more of a fantasy. 5-1, 32 seconds. HSDC are going to make this series just a little bit closer.
Yes. Beautifully played. Great precision as well, and you need to make sure of these shots. Long range, close up attempts like we've already seen from Flo. As close as it gets. This is a bit of a fluke. And Exeter gets themselves another tiniest glimpse of the light at the end of the tunnel. A little bit of mishap from Corby there in the corner, but they should be in a good position. Well, as I said, after the game number 1, they have been saving all of their goals for the future games. And we've seen only one game number 1. How about we're approaching yet another 7, perhaps even 8 goal thriller. And that's the beautiful show right here on Wednesday, here in the British Esports.
Yeah, what a real turn of events here. Game 4 was 6-2 to the Exeter side. Now HSDC going to be winning game 5, presumably looking like 5-2. Could be 6-2 though. They have maybe a 0-second attempt. No, it'll be 5-2. So we've had 2 incredibly high scoring games going opposite directions at one after the other. Now it's 3-2 to the Exeter side. HSDC starting to mount a comeback. Game number 6. Can HSDC tie up the series, or will Exeter make it to match point?
I believe in them. Again, the momentum of Exeter has been broken. Incredibly important win. Not just to stay alive, but to stop what the Exeter has been, I swear, running away. It looks that they've really cracked the game plan of their opposition. and we're just taking the series with themselves very quickly. So this win, incredibly important for HSDC. I'm going to set us up really well for a continuation. I feel like a tie is upcoming. I smell a 3-3.
Well, 3-3 incoming. We will see if you are correct. Game number 6 to come underway. 5 minutes on the clock once again. As I mentioned, if Esther win this, they head to match point. If HSDC win this, well, we're guaranteed an 8-game series if that is the case.
Give us best of 9 games, just so we can check a mark and say, yeah, both the players as well as us, production included. Well, that's Exeter. Every single time so far, it feels like the team that has lost starts the next game incredibly strong. And we've seen that from Exeter. We're seeing it from Exeter right now. We're seeing it from HSDC as well. But it takes a long time to actually convert this early game spurt into an actual game win. Knowing how many goals we have seen. Dangerous play, and Nugget almost steals it and puts it on target. Just a little bit wide. That top left corner was looking delicious.
Turns upfield. Daffel into the back wall. Looking for a teammate to pass. They're not going to find one just yet. Corby a heavy touch into front of net. It will go. Nugget, unchallenged, Flo will finally get a piece of the action, but not until a teammate gets behind him. Corby, off to the ceiling. Not the challenge just yet, actually a free run on the ball, a chance onto net, needs to be saved here, and Freeze will be the man to find it.
And tested the defense of Exeter, forced them to stretch along that goal line, and make late chance saves. And that just keep on pushing while their defenses keep on being thrown left and right from one post to the other. I guess so far in the year, I'd say the dominance is still with Exeter, but HSDC can work on the ground. They're down the defender, but Freeze loses the ball and as such is forced to retreat. Literally forced to retreat as his card gets removed from the ball, separated surgically. Down on Corby means no dribble for HSDC, and long clear is forcing HSDC up. Nobody gets a touch, and on the ground, Dallas Season just clears it up too easy.
1-0, and it's Daffel to find it. 3 minutes to go, and the Eagles take the lead. They are hunting hard for that match point. Game on this series over in 7 games perhaps. Off to centre, the ball will go. RRX denied. A launch upfield saved well by Corby, into net it will go, but saved just in time by Flo. Off to the back, where no one there for the follow-up. Here comes Nugget. Good wall dash, good pass to centre. Is anyone there for the shot? Yes, but it will be saved by Flo.
Pushing now, there's a counter-attack. Now it's HSDC themselves, but look how quickly Nugget steals that ball. Look how quickly he tries to put it on target, but that is off. But the post, another counter-attack starts immediately on the ground. That's 3 players of HSDC way too close. Freeze too high up, cannot commit to the ball. And as such, this slows down for just a moment. No immediate counter. There's going to be a little bit of a battle, and HSDC, nobody home. This is the most important time to be at home. Challenge is just not working out. RX too late for that challenge. Beat cannot be beat any harder than that. Eagles finally convert this rally of both teams back and forth, but it's a 2 for one specific team, and they may even find yet another one as it's 2 versus 1. No, Nugget wants to just do everything himself in this case.
It rolls off the side. Here comes Corby waiting centre for the shot. The Eagles got a bit too confident, left a massive gap in their defence. It's a free goal for the HFTC side.
Freeze had the boost, but just did not have the touch that he wished for on a defensive moment. After that, HSDC swarmed the net of Exeter and bring it back down to just something more reliable. And look at that deep play from Corby. The shadowing player from Exeter came in pretty strong, but they could not do anything with the ball. Now it's the team in blue trying to find their tying goal and preferably not allow Exeter to do anything. Nobody in the center to collect the ball. That was just another double play on the ball from HSDC that could have left their net vulnerable. One player down. Shot. There's Datha in the place. anybody else. The backboard is cleared. Feels like ground place. But HSBC might be wanting to favor. Otherwise, all the other avenues are pretty much closed, especially when Exeter has enough time to reposition.
A good pass downfield. Flo will be the one to catch it. The ball rolls high. Here's Corby. A soft touch downfield will not cause the danger that he was hoping for. RRX looks for the bump, can't find it. And right in possession, it is Freeze. Shot into centre, denied. Here comes Nugget though, shot high. RRX should be able to get this touch over the flow. The pass will be made. Follow up touch, looking for the 50-50 win, can't find it. But Nugget, he's got time to take, but Flo's quick to dunk him. He rolls it on round, and that might just be an own goal, but it's a goal for Flo nonetheless. 2-2 for game 6.
I feel like Flo already had this out. Actually, he goes just a little bit late, so not as clear cut as I imagined it originally. But a beautiful little setup. One great ball control and Flo. At this point, might be the goal-scoring leader for HSDC. And he is deadly when it comes to collecting the ball off that backboard and putting it on target. Same goes for Nugget. Incredibly dangerous maneuvers. Never want to leave him alone with the ball for too long.
Attention to net, no success. Here's Corby up, but Freeze quick to distill the attack. Nugget rolling on round the corner into centre, it will go. Freeze is back. Some help from a teammate. Pass over from Flo to Corby, denied. We could have an overtime on our hands here, Jam, because the clock ticks on down. The score remains 2-2. And RRX denied on the attack, unless Nugget can score here. Overtime is on the horizon. The chance is there, but the ball goes wide to the ground. It will fall in game 6. It's OT.
HSDC were playing incredibly dangerously, obviously hoping for the ball to go anywhere but their own side of the field. Right here off the kickoff, Nugget. Again, his aerial plays are superb. No conversion on that one. Flo not taking the boost. Miss on the wall as well. HSDC attacking plan immediately gets transferred to the defensive plan. How do we return back? Quickly was the operative word, but Freeze managed to sneak the ball in just in between HSDC players trying to return on back. RX had no chances. The only player that could have done anything about it was Flo. But realistically, HSDC were looking for a better touch of that ball read. Match point Exeter. Those Eagles sure know how to fly.
Oh my, 4-2. The scoreline now becomes as Exeter find themselves finally at match point. As we are ready now for game number 7, Jam. Let's get it underway. It could be the final one. If Exeter can win it here, they could be sending their way to LAN. If again HSDC find this comeback, they got some work to do.
So far, the team that has been losing was looking strong at the beginning of the next game. HSDC look a little bit lost, but thankfully for them, Exeter are sitting deep and have not punished them for any of the wild touches. Right here, Corby. The angle not really fitting him. Alright, perhaps in a better position, but they're still keeping the possession and still trying to keep the ball alive. Flo versus Death. A little bit of a dribble low. That's exactly how Flo likes it. Puts an opening there for the HSDC.
I don't know what Daff has done here. He's went way too high, flying past the ball. Absolutely diced up by Flo. And HSDC start off 1-0.
Cold as ice, says his game title, and that was exactly cold as ice. Pumping the brakes, just killing that ball. All the while, you can see more and more maneuvers on the ground. HSDC always looking for that little bump on the goal line to open up an opportunity for second or the third coming in on rotation. Can they directly say that this has been working that well for them? The amount of opportunities was there. It feels like it's hard to change their game plan in the middle of the whole series. But it is still a danger, and it's still something that Eagles constantly have to be keeping at the back.
Center the ball will bounce. Heavy touch, but denied once again. Over to Corby now. He has that out into centre for Flo. And a follow-up touch down the other way for RRX. Nugget has to be careful off the backboard. The ball coming into centre. Corby off the pass, but no success just yet. the corner ball will roll on away. Below, bullied off the ball, frees into centre, but still no success. Shot onto net, but it will travel high above it. Corby, heavy touch, can't find anything of it. The ball falls down towards centre, and a scramble at the back line. HSDC just want this ball away. They are terrified right now.
A kingdom for a clear, a kingdom and a horse for a clear is what HSDC were shouting at, and finally they find at least some resemblance, if only for a moment. Been running out of boost, thankfully collecting at least their 100 and a quarter off of that attempt. And now moving past the midfield line. It might get nervy in that blue side of the field, but they need to regain their confidence and find something on the other side. Again, a dangerous touch, giving it away to their opposition. Exeter is only too happy to pick up whatever HTC is throwing at them in a bit of a helplessness right there.
Big launch down the other end. Corby can make it back in time. No, he cannot. It'll be Freeze to find the goal back and tie up the game 1 apiece.
Too many times have we seen this story. Exeter hit HSDC on a breakaway. Nobody is close enough to collect that ball. And that net, obviously you play up quite high to make any sort of maneuvers on the opponent's side. But all of these clears are coming in way too frequent, and for HSBC to get converted too many times. Flo sets the record, straight second for him in this game, and many more in the series as a whole. Lovely little flow of play. Look at 1, 2, 3. HSBC regained their 1 goal.
1 goal lead in place here for the Alton side. HSDC doing a good job at fighting back in this series, but they've still got the game to win, and 2 minutes remain on the clock. It's Nugget to the backboard. RRX sends it high. He's left awkward, but the shot nowhere near getting found. JFC, he just flies miles past the ball. Back in the tender by Daffo, and needs a teammate to help him out. Nugget might be the one to do so. Over to Freeze now, off to the backboard. A pass to centre would be sublime, but not going to find it just yet.
But this flow, not with possession. Oh, there's a miss. And those are the mistakes we were talking about all the way at the start of the series. Look for mistakes, force your opponents to do mistakes. This is exactly where AGC can jump on it. Currently trying to play incredibly short, and the moment the ball gets free, any sort of touch, which HSDC want to put on it, will be in the middle of the field. Miss from both of the players, but now look at that. It's Exeter on the attack, already on the ground. Daff throws it high. HSDC are not ready to collect it, despite the players being there. Everybody's just too far out, and RRX and those bomb plays coming in once again. Eagles make it a tie game.
That's so well played by Daffo and Freeze right there. The bumps coming out from Freeze, the shot as well from Daffo, all working so well in tandem. Now a 2-2 game. If HSDC aren't careful, they're going to lose the series here in a game that they started off looking so strong, but now the Eagles have really picked up the pace.
There's no freebies. Again, more attempts by Corby to look for any bumps to reduce the defense of Exeter to just nothing. To be careful right here. Lovely little interplay flow with RRX without a goal. Just have to return back on, and Corby with nothing in his tank is trying just to play the ball, keep it away from the opposition. Good. Still, he will be needed at some point in his own defense. Flo, not this time. Tries really hard to find anything for HSDC. All the while the ball moves to the other side of the field, and clear needs to come in right here, right now. RRX in the face of 2 Eagles players does a pretty good job.
Ball bounces high, a wide open net. Nugget can just tap it in, and with 16 seconds left, Jam, the Eagles take the lead. It is match point in their favour. Unless HSDC can tie up the game in the next 16 seconds, the Eagles Exeter side are going to land.
Watch the kickoff. Once again, HSDC were incredibly strong on those. Ball goes opposite from the third player, escapes the shadowing player as well, and that's 10 seconds. Demo on Flow. They will not allow them to do anything, and Nugget puts HSDC into the ground. And his proactivity on the field has been the difference maker for the play of Exeter. Not only bringing this to a lead for the Eagles, putting this fourth one and pretty much settling down the game. Bravo. Bravo, Eagles. That was quite a performance.
Bravo indeed, and as the ball finally touches the ground, they will not get goal number 5, but a fifth game will certainly be going the way of the Exeter Eagles side. They move on to the land finals coming this summer. Who they'll be facing is yet to be decided. It'll be one of the teams from the North Stage, the winning team on the North side. But Jar of Jam, huge props to the Eagles, but HSDC certainly gave a good showing.
Absolutely. With every single game I saw, not just wins for them, even in their losing games, I saw the comeback potential, the ways in which they could just absolutely dominate the opposition. The moment HSDC started winning those kickoffs, I thought, they can just continue on piling on these goals, multiplying that score. And it was just not enough. Not enough, especially when little gaps in the defense kept on being used and all that little cracks just burst at the end. The dam was open and too many weak spots were expertly utilized by Exeter.
Expertly done by the Exeter side. With that all said, that is all we have for today. Huge props to Exeter side making it to land. Of course, we'll see them in the summer. We're going to find out who we're playing against. I believe it is I get my dates correctly, the 1st of May.
That's true.
But that'll be, just kind of keep that provisionally for now. Coming up next week, though, will be the South final for Overwatch 2. Then there'll be Easter break. Then there'll be more matches coming your way. Keep an eye on socials and all things included, because you don't want to miss any matches for any of the games. Overwatch, Valorant, League of Legends, Rocket League. Plenty to watch about the course of the Women in Esports initiative going on as well. Plenty of things to watch over there, so keep an eye on our socials. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Boy Royal, joined of course by Jar of Jam and Brad in production. Have a good rest of your day, everybody, and we'll see you next time.